It's always plugged in.
You guys ready? Plug.
Yeah.
So the other guy at the gym, one guy had on garden gloves, and he was like 95.
Yeah.
And then the other guy, Ted, this guy he's literally.
Is this just meant for me?
Welcome to Gym Talk.
Ted, he had oxygen. He was hooked up to.
Yeah. Okay.
No
well, you know.
way.
Yeah, he had an oxygen tank.
Okay.
Like
Well,
he
I
had
mean-
COPD and he was working out.
Yeah, that's good. I mean,
okay, so-
better late than never.
So
And then it was me.
Yeah. So I was in the gym today. And there's it's two gyms. You can go to two different gyms. One's the upstairs one. It's kind of nice.
I haven't gone across
Yeah.
the way.
The other one's the downstairs one. It's kind of like a little more like gymmy, like free weights and stuff like that. It's
I know
it's-
Jimmy
yeah.
free weights.
Yeah. So I walk in. There's one guy in there, and I've seen this before because he does this. The TV is up. There's a TV in there. Absolute blasted to 99. Whatever. It's 0 to 99. It's blasted to 0.
But he's in there by himself.
He's in there by himself. So
This is the weight room.
this is the weight room.
Yeah, okay.
So I walk in. I don't even say anything. I just grab the remote, and I turn it down to like from 99.
Wait. They just have the remote laying out there for the animals to control?
Yeah, I mean, how many people go to the gym?
Did you ever work out the Leaning Tower Y when it was open?
Yeah, there was no TVs there.
No, there was a stereo system. Do you know this whole? I used to work out there in the 90s, early 90s, forever. And there's a whole subculture in this place. People want to write books about it. Why guys want to write books about it? There used to be an old school stereo system down there with fucking old school speakers.
Mr. Sweary.
Old school speakers all over the place. And there was a door, and you enter this door. It's like a closet, and it had the receiver and stuff.
So you had to go into the closet
There was a
in the gym, and
but anybody could go in there and change the radio station.
Okay.
So it was a constant battle. It literally led to blows.
I was going to say there probably had to be
There
a
was
fight.
people. So
a fight
there,
here and
there's
there.
all these rules implemented, like during this time of the day, this station's on. This time, so everybody had to abide by these rules.
Okay.
Because, and this is a system that happened. These are things that progressively happen over the course of time. There used to be a TV in there. There was fights over that. Gone.
Yep.
They had to remove the television. Then the television came back, and the remote control was controlled by the upstairs.
That's funny because I worked out at the Y for, I'm going to say 5-6 years, and I don't remember anybody ever saying anything about the radio. I mean, there was music on, but
It's a radio. It was the radio playing.
yeah.
Well,
But I mean, I don't
there's a
remember
stereo.
anybody ever
Now
changing
everybody
it
has
or
their
adjusting
phone.
it.
No, I mean,
Everybody has their phone with their,
Not this guy. This guy had the TV on, and like I said, I walked in, I turned it all the way down.
What was he watching? American Pickers?
It was just, I don't know if it was ESPN or whatever it was, but it was, so I turned it down to like 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to be standing in front of it.
Maybe he's got
Because
a
I
hearing.
couldn't-
Maybe he's got a hearing problem.
I don't care. It's got one of those little things that if you have Bluetooth, you can hook up your you can like adjust something and listen
Yeah.
to it. It's got that little
so
thing.
what happened when you turned it down?
So I just because I couldn't even hear.
What?
No. I was listening to the
Yeah, I
show
know.
actually. I was listening to the show and working out, and so I'm in there for 10 minutes. Now he goes back over, and there's a little bike to sit in front. And He sits down, and he just No, he's sitting in front of it. He's no more than 2 feet away, and he just jacks it up to 50 or 60, and it is. I mean, it's so loud.
Yeah.
I mean, thank God I'm done with my deal.
Yeah.
And I just look over him. I go like this. I go, really? And I just walk away.
Should have just
But
unplugged
he
it.
couldn't hear me. There's no way he could hear me.
Should have just
It was that
unplugged it
loud.
and walked out and make him get off the bike.
I should have just.
That's
ripped
why
it
they make 2.5 pound plates.
to hit a guy with. It just seemed really weird, man. It seemed really weird that he
It
thought it
doesn't
was
kill
okay.
you, but it'll maim you.
Yeah, he just thought it was okay for it to be basically almost as loud as it could possibly be, and he's not paying attention to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just something running in the background. Honestly, I think it might have been
Okay.
some
I'm
kind of
sorry,
sports
Matt.
thing.
I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't mean it. It's my first day at the gym.
No, it's just
It was me.
I don't know, man.
Oh, it was you?
I get and
But he's probably the same guy that goes out and he's one of those entitled guys who thinks that he's aware, he's not aware of anything around him. Thinks
he
it's,
knows
thinks
what
it's
he's
all
talking
about him. Yeah.
Okay.
So I just say,
can I just say that he had a bandana on?
okay,
Yeah, he had a bandana. Is that
yeah.
yeah?
Is
Like
it
a
Axl
do-rag,
Rose?
like a do-rag
Is it
bandana.
Axl Rose?
I don't know. It really freaked me out, man. The whole thing really bothered
So it
me.
sounds like his life's already on a spiral. So that, you just give him the loud TV. Like, at least that's what he's got to look forward to.
You know what freaked me out today, Ted? I was talking to this kid at this shop that I'm working at, and his wife has shingles.
Okay.
And he goes, I don't even know what, he's like 27 years old. He's like, I don't even know what the hell shingles are. I didn't even know what they were before she got them. I go, well, it's, something like the chicken pox, it's a break. Everyone has the virus in them, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, and he's like, yeah, I don't understand it. So I said, I go,
Yeah, you go, sir. I'm not a virologist. I'm just explaining
No,
the
but
general
I told-
concept of shingles.
I got herpes. Should I tell my wife? Because she's got shingles and she didn't tell me. And yeah.
well, so I told him, I said, I was explaining to him that it's really painful, and I go, some people get it really bad. The
You can
older
get on
you
your
get,
fa-
it's
you can get
more
on your
on
face, you
head.
can get on your
And I
chest,
told him, I go,
anywhere, yeah.
David Letterman had it on his head, and he was off the air for like 3 months. And he goes, who? I go, David Letterman. He goes, yeah, I don't even know who that is.
He's 27.
I don't even know who that is.
Doesn't
I go,
know anything,
I go,
yeah.
you're kidding me. You don't know who David Letterman is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, maybe if you show me a picture, I'd recognize him. I have no idea who you're talking about.
No. Why? If he doesn't know the name, why would you know David Letterman's picture? He is the most
Well,
regular
now
looking dude.
Not
of
now.
all
He's
time.
got a beard.
Yeah, but he just you wouldn't recognize him for that.
Yeah, he's been off the air forever too.
Yeah,
right?
he's had that
retired,
beard for like 8 years.
Yeah, but I mean that guy's if that guy doesn't know the name David Letterman, the picture's not going to do anything.
He literally, I have no idea. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah.
Well, he's got those space between his teeth. He's got that Alfred E. Newman Mad Magazine look.
yeah,
to him.
I
so
got to be 100% honest with you.
I wouldn't recognize if I
If-
saw him.
yeah,
I wouldn't recognize if I saw him.
I know there's lots of movies and TV shows and stuff that I just don't watch.
Yeah.
If my son gave me the name of somebody, and I've seen him every once in a while, the names. and
There's
you're just
nobody
like, I
he
have no
can
idea
name
who
that's
this
his,
is.
No,
but not as David Letterman.
Why would? Why?
He was on the air for 40 years.
Yeah, but that was
Nobody Jackson's going to tell you that you don't know is as famous as
Yeah, but
David
that was
Letterman was for 4 decades.
But that was a time when mostly there was only like six TV stations. Everybody had to watch something,
No, Letterman was on
and
the air
no kid,
into the
no
2000s.
20-year-old kid.
Jenny Carson was on the air forever, and nobody would know who he is. I guarantee you that.
I'll tell you right now, a 20-something-year-old kid
yeah.
probably doesn't watch the TV at all anymore.
No.
Well,
Just
nobody
stream-
does.
just
They
stream
don't
it-
watch
just stream-
TV.
just stream
I know.
everything,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I understand.
I get
that.
all of my
And how
ooh,
quickly
I
people
almost said
are forgotten.
pornography.
Well, you did say pornography.
What?
man.
No, I didn't. No, I said I didn't say pornography. Yeah.
I just heard you say pornography.
No, pornography.
Am I
I'm not
crazy?
saying. Yeah, no. It's a.
He said something with the word porn in
Hold
it.
on. Do we edit?
I perked up.
Yeah. Do we?
What?
Radio edit.
We do not edit at all. No.
Edit's gone for the day, sir.
He left. All right. So tell me if this is weird.
It's weird.
Okay. And moving on. Okay. So I was looking at this thing, and I always run into these stupid articles, and I hate to read them, and I hate clicking on them. Okay. Have you guys ever heard of red dye number 3?
I've heard of it. I'm not exactly sure in what context, but it's obviously a food additive, I'm guessing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Okay. So California. I'm looking at this thing. It says California is going to outlaw red dye number 3.
It's about time.
Okay. Anything that's produced,
That'll
anything
that'll
that's in
solve a lot
there.
of problems.
And one of the things they talked about was Skittles. I guess this red dye number 3 is in Skittles. Okay. And they're like, so the headline says, of course, California wants to ban Skittles. Yeah. And of course, I'm looking at it. I'm like, I got to read this. Who knows? I know it's going to be stupid.
Okay.
I know it's going to be stupid, but whatever.
It's good fodder for the show. Yeah.
But then I got into it, right? No. But yeah, exactly, right? So I got into it, and yeah, they want to outlaw red dye number 3, which is in Skittles.
Right.
But some other stuff, too. Titanium dioxide, potassium bromate, and bromated vegetable oil,
That's a lot
or
of bros, man.
propyl
Bros
paraben.
before hoes.
Yeah. Sounds like they really studied the elemental chart
Right,
before
and
they.
it's just one state. California wants to do this. No other states.
Yeah.
And I was thinking,
And,
oh,
what's
man.
what's the did they give the logic behind it?
Well, here's the logic.
Okay.
All of those things are banned in the European Union. They are They are literally
Okay.
very bad for you. All of those things have been proven to be bad for you.
Okay.
All 4 or 5, whatever I said, of those things are bad.
And we just suck on them like it's nothing.
And we just we
Well, so
Yeah, like Skittles,
but
we
the
just
European
suck 'em
Union
down.
has already said no. We won't accept any of this. We won't have anything that has any of this stuff in it.
So lawmakers are just looking out for their constituents. What's the problem?
But why can we have it? And why is only one state? Why is just one
Well-
state deciding?
Well, it's like Animal Farm. Everyone is equal, but some people are more equal than others. So
What does that have to do with why we get to eat all these terrible chemicals and the European
it's like
Union
Ted
has
said.
decided that it's a bad idea?
More red Skittles for you, brother.
It's like Ted said.
I
it's
hate
good,
Skittles.
I know.
Skittles are the worst.
Or you could just opt not to eat stuff with red dye number 3, right?
But it's all those things: titanium dioxide, potassium bromate. There's a bunch of stuff that is all illegal,
Right.
and you cannot bring that in there.
Okay.
And companies don't do it. I mean, when Heinz or who, I'm just going to throw some, whenever these companies that
Allegedly.
make food, Kraft, whatever they
Allegedly.
make 2 versions of all this stuff.
Okay.
They make a version that they put anything in.
They actually make that. Let me interrupt
the
you.
morons.
They actually make way more than 2 versions of like Kraft mac and cheese and all that stuff. That's very common. You're right. Because in order to sell it in Europe, they have to change the formula, right?
Yeah, so it doesn't have
In
the
order
poisons
to
in it.
in order to sell it to Walmart, they have to change
Yeah, sure.
Because it's a cheaper version.
Yeah, well, like the generic
Because
brand.
Walmart says, I have to be able to sell it for this much, so I got to buy it from you for this much. And Kraft goes, all right, fine. And we got to cut back this much of our ingredients. My wife I know people that work for Kraft. It tastes the same. You don't notice it, but it's got like X amount less cheese, a few less noodles,
a little more pesticide, a little more DDT,
and a
little more paint.
That's why you could buy it so much cheaper at Walmart. All those products you buy at Walmart are cheapened down so that they could buy it at a certain price point and sell it at a certain price point. Fact.
I believe that. Yeah, it makes sense.
That's
aghast.
Dumbfounded.
I am. I'm
That's why you go to buy a four-legged table and it's got 3 legs.
You say you're a ghost?
So wait. So if I go buy something at Jewel,
yes, it's not the same.
Is it 8 ounces and this one is 7.9 ounces?
No.
It's just got less noodles.
It has less ingredients.
Well, they just make the generic.
They make
it
cheaper. They produce it in a less expensive. It's cheaperly produced. It's so that they could sell it.
But it's got to taste different.
It doesn't. You can't tell it.
But then why not just do it for everybody? Why not just make the crappy version of everything
and put an expensive label on it?
Put some really nice potassium
bromate
and some titanium dioxide in.
Maybe it does taste different.
It sounds like you make a skateboard or like a motorbike. That doesn't sound like ingredient food.
Mommy, why is my mac and cheese red? Red dye number 3. It's way cheaper than red dye number 4, which doesn't kill you. Are you kidding me? That is the most terrifying thing. Wait, are you going to tell me next that outlet malls aren't really outlets?
Oh, you're talking to me? Yeah. Or you're role playing right now. You're scaring me. He's looking right at me, like I said something.
That's a lazy eye.
We don't know.
Mommy, why is this scary man using my voice?
We don't know who he's looking at actually.
Jesus, he's talking to his thumb.
He's like,
no, what's that guy?
Yeah.
He's good. Yeah. You like?
Yeah, that
See
guy.
There, I just alienated everyone in the 20s
Matt's making
and 30s.
a fist and he's talking with his thumb.
No, we all work with
that?
We all work with somebody who had like kind of a lazy eye where they're kind of looking this way, but they're talking to you, and it was like the eyes over there, and you're not really sure like where they're looking. It's
a lazy eye. Is that still a thing?
I can't hear you, Ted. I got a lazy eye.
I got a lazy ear.
I can't hear you. I got a Ted ear.
Oh man. So
that's called selective hearing.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Mark, we're going on a golf trip this week. Yeah, I go on a lot of golf trips. I realize that.
Oh, is this a trip I got uninvited to?
Yeah,
you
didn't. You just didn't get a chance to say yes.
I'm not in charge of anything.
You just didn't get a chance to say yes. But we're going on this trip.
I literally booked a place.
Okay.
And we talked about it for a week, and then casually goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, you can't go." I was like, "Well, I mean, I told you my buddy's got a place at the resort."
Mommy, why is Mark full of
But this is all absolutely true.
No, you did not.
What do you mean? I told you my friend has a place there, and we can all stay there. And you're like, "Oh, that'd be awesome." Yeah, that'd be cool. And I'm like, I'll call him and let him know, and
but
this
then,
and that. And I was making
but
plans
then it was
to go.
filled up. I can't. I'm not in charge of yes and no's.
Well, you sounded like it when you said, "Hey,
Sounds
would you like to go with us?"
Sounds like a lot of pillow talk.
It's
fine. I didn't want to go anywhere.
Good. Okay.
Neither did I.
No. So
my
I just want to make him feel guilty,
Exactly.
but you can't. The man has no conscience.
No, I have no.
He'll justify. Yep. He's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No, he cares just what he cares about. I have no idea. Right. That's all.
No, I
don't
don't
makes
care.
you sleep at
absolutely,
night.
Yeah, I absolutely do not care in any way, shape, or form. But we all have to bring something to this trip to eat.
I'm not making anything for you.
No, shut up.
Yeah, you have to do all the cooking, by the way. Even though you're not
and
going.
Teddy promised that he was going to bring something.
Skittles.
Skittles and mac and cheese.
No, just the red Skittles.
Yeah, I got so many cake. I got a case of mac and cheese from Walmart. But it says don't have more than one spoonful. But yeah, so my thing is this. So every year Teddy does this, and almost every year this is what occurs. Right? We get in the car.
What did he say he's going to bring? Just something. He's going to bring.
Actually, I don't remember what it was.
Taco dip.
Okay. So
pre-made, of course.
Yeah. So here's what happens though.
That's good stuff.
He's just going to bring sour. He's going to bring cream cheese in the packet.
Yeah, that's all he's. Yeah.
This is the most I've ever seen the guy laugh.
No, because he knows.
I said the magic words.
No, because it's absolutely true.
Was that your nickname in college? Was that your nickname in college?
Teddy,
Taco Dick.
Taco Dick. I love that. So Teddy, don't try to get out of this because the fact of the matter is, every time Teddy says he's going to bring something, he either doesn't bring anything or he brings something different.
Like a bait switch.
It's awesome.
I just forgot.
Yeah. So one time
I went shopping last year.
Yeah. And we're like, Teddy, we need you to bring lasagna. And what did you come with? You did not come with lasagna. What did you bring?
I think I brought like frozen breakfast burritos.
Yeah.
No, because I think you said somebody was making lasagna. Yeah. I brought chips. I brought dips. I brought some entertainment.
Ted brought the
That's some good laughs.
no boil noodles.
The yeah. No, but it's always funny when we give him a job to do. We give him something to do, and he just does he does something different, and I love it. So I'm actually excited about.
So it's like a Teamster. Just do it.
No, I mean I guess it is. Yeah, I guess all a Teamster has to do is show up, right?
And strike.
Did you see that? There's more strike.
Yeah,
I keep driving around. Everybody's on strike.
Yeah,
they have those giant.
There's
rats.
a rat. There's a rat. Yeah.
Do you know? You ever read about the history of that rat?
No.
There's a long,
Was it eating red dye number 3?
No, that rat is a symbol. So they put that inflatable rat up, right?
Yeah.
Somebody specifically made that like 60.
For striking.
I swear to God,
workers?
it goes back like 60 or 70 years. There's this whole story about it. I'll do some research next week. It'll be on the show.
Okay.
But listeners, look it up because it's pretty interesting.
All right.
So is that just a Chicago thing, or is that like
no? It's a nationwide thing.
A nationwide thing. All right,
Yeah.
cool. I'm down with that. All right, so let's roll this thing up because Teddy, you got some work to do today.
I didn't read the tips, so this is all going to be a surprise to me.
Oh, it's going to be really good. Okay. Hey, everybody. My name is Matt, and this is the Real 3 Idiots podcast. With me, as always, is a man who drinks Crown Royal and Diet in a Collins glass.
That's a Collins glass is pretty cool, actually. I'm gonna start doing that.
No more Crown and Diet in a short glass.
Wait,
It's
what
Crown
is that? Coffee?
Yeah, he's drinking coffee. But when so I don't know. Just last week, Teddy goes, oh yeah, and she brings him a different glass.
No, they were out of glasses.
Yeah,
So
they were out of short
Wait, which
glasses.
one's a Collins glass?
It's like tall, thin. It's
like a
tall, thin
highball.
one. Yeah.
A highball.
Yeah.
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 But now that's what he asks for.
Oh,
Crown and Diet in the Collins.
You know why?
glass.
Because I just realized I have small hands, so like the girth of the girth.
just ask for a highball, dude. We used to do that all the time.
The girth of those rocks glasses,
Yeah.
it makes my hand,
Well,
so,
it makes your pinky stick out. And
so
you think
yeah.
you're better than all of us.
So with a small glass, it makes my hands look bigger, and
Sure.
and parts of your body that look bigger compared to other things is always a good thing.
No, in your hand. Who wants big hands? What
Donald
woman?
Donald Trump?
What woman or what fellow? What person goes? Oh, you know what? That person's very interesting. They have such large hands. That'd be really good.
You can't.
I don't know.
Where does he buy his gloves?
Yeah. How does he keep himself warm? Yeah. Are his pockets bigger to fit those giant hands?
He must wear hoodies.
Yeah. We'll see. And a fella I just found out is a square earther, Mark.
Square
earther. Isn't that a thing?
I'm not sure. I never thought about it.
Yeah. A square. I mean, look. If
just
there's
made
people,
that up.
if there's people that are flat earthers, why wouldn't you have a square earther?
Well, there's actually a guy who just invented a bike with square tires, and supposedly I'm not kidding, it's real. And supposedly it works. They showed the bike; it has squares. That way he didn't invent it. He brought it back.
No, Ted. He got super wasted. Yeah. He got super wasted and created.
Yeah, you know how we're bringing sexy back. He brought the square bike back.
No, it cannot work.
Supposedly it does. I don't know how.
That's how is square
I can't
tires?
even picture that.
I mean, octagonal maybe.
Isn't that a Simpsons episode with the square?
Yeah, but why would you even? I mean, what is it better?
I didn't read the story, but they did show a picture of a bike with square tires, and I was curious how it could have worked because it doesn't look like it can at all. So
okay,
FYI.
I'm lost and I don't understand what's happening. Okay, so let me do my sponsor, and then Mark has a really great song, top of the line song.
Oh my God, I don't think I have a song.
Everyone knows you're lying. Yeah, everyone knows you're lying. And then Teddy's tip is a tough one. I'm telling you right now. It seems very easy, but I think it's a lot tougher than.
Oh, I do need to preface my song though. I did a little research.
Does anyone know the three tenors?
I did some research. You're always complaining about not you, Ted, but Matt. I'm going to look at you when I'm talking to Matt.
Matt is a chronic complainer.
He complains about how long my songs are.
Yeah.
And then last week.
Insert joke here.
Yeah. So it's a short song, and I did some research. It's actually the shortest parody song in podcast history.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Wow.
Should we take out a stopwatch?
That must have been. I mean, there's 72 billion podcasts. 72
it's the shortest parody
podcasts.
song in podcast history.
So if I can count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, by the time I get to 5, it'll be over.
Maybe,
Okay.
but don't count what I'm saying.
All right, no.
1, 2.
It's inside voice. voice.
Okay. Are you tired of people who don't think like you, act like you, and look like you? Are you looking for a community that you can start from scratch that eliminates those kinds of people? We have the place for you. Antarctica. Antarctica is the 5th largest continent, and we have the least amount of people. You can easily bully, legislate, and hate them right out and create your very own nirvana. And the great news, Antarctica isn't a country, so you can govern yourself, police yourself, and make up whatever rules your little heart desires. Don't get caught in big cities with rules that protect everyone. Come to Antarctica and protect yourself. Hate taxes, abortion, not being able to carry a gun everywhere? Do you love racism, sexism, and all the other isms? Antarctica is the place for you. And don't worry, everyone back in America will call every day to let you know how much we miss you. Come to Antarctica, please, and leave the rest of us alone.
Did you just say Nirvana was playing in Antarctica?
No. No, you're
Nirvana.
creating.
I think he meant Nirvana as a state of mind.
Yes, you're creating.
It's like your own private Idaho.
Stop listening.
I love the Bodines. Oh, I've seen them.
I know Wilco's playing in Greenland. I mean Iceland.
Oh.
And
oh, you know what? Wilco is my least favorite band of all time.
I heard of them.
Yeah.
Is that like Acme?
Well, then let's
We go Weezer, Wilco, everything that starts with a W.
Let's
walks.
just skip this song. Then.
Crash Test Dummies? I don't know.
Okay, sing it up, my friend.
Hey, Tippin' Teddy, is your mind all blown? Did it go and leave you all alone? Mm-hmm. You got a tip in desire. Ooh, your tip is on fire. Tell me now, Teddy, is it good for you? Does it tip you do things listeners can't do? Oh, no. Can you be any higher? Ooh, Ted's tip is on fire. That's it.
Oh, wow.
I screwed up that line, man.
Honestly, I thought I was listening to Bruce Springfield for just 1 second.
Bruce Springfield?
Nice.
Who's Bruce Springfield?
That's it's Rick Springfield.
It's Dusty
and
Springfield.
Bruce.
Isn't it Dusty Springfield?
And
Rusty?
And Rick Springfield.
Rick Springfield. Yeah.
Dusty Springfield, yeah.
So if Bruce Springsteen, oh, man.
No, maybe it was Bryce Springfield. That's who it was.
Bryce Springfield. Okay, are you ready for your tip?
Yes.
Because this seems when I gave it to you, I thought it sounded really easy.
Yeah.
But I think it's a lot tougher.
Well, you know,
than
the easy
think.
ones, those are usually ones that are fraught with peril because they seem easy on the surface. But there's cries for help in tips like that.
You said fraught and then
Fraught.
fodder. Fraught and fodder.
Fodder.
Fodder and fraught. We're going like, this is
Wow. Ted usually screws that up.
Yeah.
I'm pretty well. No, you know what he screws up? Names. No, he can get fraught and fodder. Yeah, but
What's the word I always mispronounce?
Steve Jobs.
oh, don't you? Yeah. What about Mark's name? Didn't you call him Mork?
Mock.
Mock.
That's East Coast Teddy.
Yeah, that's if I was from Rhode Island, you'd be Mock.
Oh my God, would that be? You know what? That would be unlistenable. If you just had a podcast of Boston's East Coasters. Yeah.
After a few
pretty sure Marky
Sam
Mark
Adams,
has
put a few Sam Adams in them. Oh yeah.
Marky Mark has a podcast? That son of a bitch, he's an actor.
I'm sure he does, doesn't he?
That bastard.
Sure he does.
Yeah.
You know what? Can he give people something?
Give some scraps.
Yeah, throw me something. I don't go and just outact him because 99% of people can. Well, Ben Affleck for sure. But yeah,
He's still hot, Ben Affleck. He's still out there, right? Is he making any movies lately?
you mean hot like?
Yeah, he's made a lot of movies.
No, I mean like Ryan. I mean not like Ryan Reynolds hot. I'm just saying.
Well, he made that Nike Air movie with Michael Jordan.
That's out right now. Yeah,
I watched. It's online.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's.
Somebody just saw it and they said it was good. They said it was good.
Yeah, I mean Ben Affleck cannot act.
Well, the funny thing is, like, I guess
I think he's good.
he's famous.
I think you're wrong.
He has some good movies.
Most everyone thinks you're wrong.
No, he has some really good movies where he's good in.
Yeah, this is just. There's not much to this. I mean, it's kind of the story of getting Michael Jordan, but
I like the
I didn't
movie.
see any of it.
Have you seen Tender Bar?
No. You seen Good Will Hunting? It's like 25 years ago.
Well,
actually, the thing he's famous for now is like looking. The thing he's famous for now is being memed when he looks miserable walking with Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, he's always like looks like he's going to commit suicide.
That doesn't. I don't understand that.
He's
an adult man. If he was unhappy, he would leave. It's not like she has some kind of secret power over him. It just doesn't make any sense. I love that they make him sound like a buffoon, like a clueless, goofless.
But it's still pretty funny.
I guarantee
it is.
But when I saw that, he's this close to going back to drinking.
Is he another one that doesn't drink?
No, but he smoked. But I hear. But does he smoke? Does he smoke like a ton? I hear he's like a big time chain smoker.
His brother Casey smokes a lot.
Okay, yeah. So.
Oh man, just you know what? Just drink. Don't.
I'm sure. I'm sure Jennifer Lopez
actually,
isn't high maintenance at all. I'm sure she's a loving and understanding spouse.
Casey
who
Affleck is a better actor.
Oh yeah, he's a real good actor.
Way better than
but
his
if she
father.
was such a pain in the ass, wouldn't he? He would just leave. He's not tethered.
Man, watch your mouth, dude.
He's not tethered to her. I don't understand this.
buttocks.
It's such fakeness.
So what you're saying is he needs to decouple.
Oh my God, Ted. This is like OT 20. This is like OT 9 instead of.
We were talking about that. We were talking
9.
about like when the space shuttle decouples from
Yeah,
the
dude.
it goes.
I think that's an
I'm
innuendo as
sure.
well.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure that's all wrong. Okay, can we get to your tip, Teddy?
Yes, we
Okay,
may.
here we go. Ted, can you help my idiot husband?
Wow.
Yeah,
See,
everybody.
that's passive aggressive.
That's
right?
no,
That's
it's just straight aggressive. She called him an idiot.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
But then she said husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, he's her idiot.
It's a label.
Yeah.
Ted.
It's
It's a label.
I think she's just. Everybody wants to be an idiot. How many people? I swear to God. Okay, Teddy, can you help my idiot husband? We just moved to a new house, and he wants to paint our garage door purple. We have an attached garage that faces out to the street. The color is hideous, and I hate it. I'm fine with a neutral color, but purple is too much. He says it's his favorite color, but he has nothing purple. We both listened, and we agreed to go with whatever you decide.
Mm-hmm.
So not only do you have to give him a tip, Teddy, you have to make a choice for these people. And their house, I sent a response to her. I said, I want a picture, please, to prove that whatever Teddy says, you do. And they are willing. She said she's willing to send that. So what is your tip, Teddy?
Well, I don't have the mental energy to break up a potentially happy marriage.
Teddy, whatever you say, someone's going to be unhappy.
Oh, exactly. Well, no, we're going to try to make everybody happy. Okay, so here's what I would do. The first thing I would do, and like I said, I don't want to make too many assumptions, but you might want to just check, first of all, with your local zoning. So let's just say your house is in a subdivision. Maybe there's an HOA where you're not even allowed to paint your garage or house a certain color, because it's against the HOA. So if that's the case,
What is going
you're
on
home
here?
free.
Who are you?
I'm just giving some advice.
Okay.
Is this? I'm sorry. Is this Mark's tips
No,
or
go on.
Ted's tips?
No,
Okay.
Very good so far.
No. I think what he's saying is, holy crap, I can't believe that you just made, again, intelligent sense. But okay, let's assume.
Don't worry. The worst is coming.
But Ted,
it's
yeah.
going to get worse.
But let's assume that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. And now they want need
Okay.
some help.
Well, as the wife, I'd be thinking, okay, my husband, he wants to paint the garage purple, but he has nothing purple. He doesn't like the color purple. What does he like that's purple? So let's assume maybe he's a football fan. Maybe he likes the Ravens or the Vikings, who have a purple uniform. So I might just quiz him in a light way around that. Like, oh, so what's your motivation for purple? Let's hope that he's not liking the color
Okay, but
purple.
what if he says, I picked it because I know you hate it?
Well, let's not go there yet.
Jennifer
but
Lopez.
Let's
Wait a minute. We don't even know that this isn't Ben and Jen.
They might be pseudonyms for all we know. I mean, let's hope he's not picking the color purple because his mister says bra and panties were purple. let's hope that's not the case. All right, I'm going to assume that's not the case. Okay.
Okay, Teddy, you need.
Okay, so here's the compromise. So the compromise is,
Okay.
assuming it's allowed via the HOA, maybe acquiesce and paint half the garage door purple and half the neutral color that the wife likes for like maybe 6 months as a year, just as a symbolic peace offering.
What?
Option number 2. If you have a mailbox, maybe you could paint the mailbox purple because maybe he's doing it to spite the neighbors. Maybe he wants like a real gaudy color to spite his neighbors. We don't really know. I don't know what the motivation is. I don't have enough information.
Well, they just moved in. How can they hate their neighbors already?
Well, you could have a lot of hate in your heart, generally.
So you're saying that he's just a hate-filled man?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, obviously, assuming they toured the neighborhood at some point before they moved in. They didn't just drop in from the sky. They probably have some familiarity.
He stopped the car out in front and went, purple. She went, what? Purple.
Yeah.
So purple what, honey? I'm painting the garage door purple.
So if it's symbolic, so maybe like do a mailbox as a compromise, or maybe put like a bird house in the backyard. May paint that purple, or you know what? Have a portrait of your garage painted purple and hang it in your house. So he'll have that purple garage.
Oh my God!
So there's a lot of options out there.
He's back.
Okay, that's not
the
the
hell
worst.
you're talking about.
That's not the worst idea ever. So
I thought he was going to say, "Why don't you?"
I'm offering multiple options to a potentially unsolvable problem.
You know what?
It's solvable.
It's funny. I don't actually hate any of those ideas.
I thought he was going to say, "Why don't you paint the door red? And if she doesn't like it, paint it blue."
Or
that'd be purple.
the last tip. If his supposed favorite color is purple, whatever her favorite color is, combine them and mix them up, and whatever that color is, then paint the garage that color.
And
I'm not a color expert. I'm not a mixologist at Ace Hardware, but that would be my That would be my last idea.
I actually really like the idea of,
So
of
what are
half
they-
purple,
so-
half a regular color.
So what are they supposed? Okay,
And that way, they could basically that their love is symbolic because now they've mixed their favorite paint colors together, and it's there for the whole neighborhood to see. So whatever that garage color is, it symbolizes their.
Okay, so
Ted,
Teddy-
what would you do? Vertical or
truce.
horizontal? Would you paint it half?
Ooh, that's funny. I was thinking vertical.
Yeah.
No,
I
if you did it
immediately thought
horizontal,
vertical.
then you could open the door and stop it and only show the one color. Like,
Okay, Teddy,
yeah.
but Teddy, what is your? I mean, you've given a lot of options.
Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like they said they would do whatever you say, and I want to see a picture of this.
Okay.
So I need you to tell them to do something, and I want to see a picture. I want to see if there's someone out there that is insane enough.
Yeah.
To do what you
Well,
say.
like I said, I
'Cause I know I'm not.
I gave them multiple options. They're free to pick that option. I guess the least bad option, I would say, paint half the garage the purple color, paint the other half the color that the wife likes, or combine her favorite color and his favorite color, which is supposedly purple, and whatever that color scheme turns out to be, paint the garage that color.
be purple and like red.
Maybe it'll be like lavender.
like a bruise. It's just one giant
Yeah,
bruise.
yeah.
But what? So if they did it half and half, what would you suggest? Like
Horizontal or vertical? I would probably say I was thinking like horizontal.
Yeah.
Yeah, horizontal.
Really? It's so funny that I immediately thought vertical.
Yeah,
Just so you could get an idea of what it would look like all the way through, top to bottom.
yeah.
You know what? I might just paint my garage door 2 different colors.
Or paint the garage door a solid color and just put purple little like markings on it in random spots. So there you have your purple, but it's not a full blown purple, so it's easy on the eyes.
We painted ours cola.
There you go.
What is cola?
It's like
Brown?
no, it's like a it's a red.
Really?
Yeah, it's a red with some.
Do you have red brick?
Brown in it. We have a paver stone patio, so it's the party door in the back, the 6-foot overhead door in the back of the garage,
I think
and then the service door is that same color too. Cola.
I think my garage door is brown. I'm almost sure it's brown. I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's going to be purple
Or
after
or
tonight.
it's green. I don't know. I honestly don't know what color it is. Wow, is that like a breakdown? Am I?
Wait, the one that's facing the street.
Yeah, because I have the same kind of thing. I'm not going to paint it purple. Of no chance. But I think it's brown. I'm almost sure it's brown. I'm 100% sure it's brown.
Yeah, put
Just
some.
so you know.
So
That's
so
weird.
so have the garage a neutral color and put some purple markings on it in various spots where it's not a full blown purple. That seems to be the best compromise.
Oh, what if they put like their initials, like you
Yeah.
know how you put it like an R for your last name or something? They could do that.
You can put their social security number on there, their birth dates, PIN number, ATM PIN.
I
They
know
can put whatever
somebody.
they
I
want
know
in purple.
some.
I'm
Actually,
just
know
kidding.
somebody
Don't-
with.
Don't do that in real life.
I
Some
know
of these
somebody
seem
with a
terrible.
purple garage door.
Yeah.
Prince.
Yeah.
No, that was purple from the purple rain.
Paisley
Thank you.
Paisley
Thank you.
Park definitely
Thank
has
you
a
very much. Thank you very
purple door.
much. All right, so Teddy, I'm looking forward to whatever picture they send.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
Multiple options have been given. They're free to choose from those multiple options after you check with your HOA, of course. Because maybe none of it's allowed, so that's all a
If she
moot point.
gets out of this, if she gets out of this,
On a
just simply
gets out of it on
by
technicality.
the technicality,
Yeah.
I'm gonna laugh so hard. That is going to be
Then the
so
three idiots win
awesome.
again.
Oh man.
Can
Okay.
can I sing my song again?
No. Okay.
I have it on playback right here.
No. I think it's time that we bring in our guest. Okay, and we have a very, very special guest. You guys should be impressed. This is when I'm done. This is going to be very, very special.
It's not on the board.
It is May 16th. Yeah. Our guest today is Genevieve Kenney-Vazquez, the president and CEO of the National Museum of Funeral History in Houston, Texas. Genevieve, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh man, and this makes you very special. You are clearly the most intelligent and diverse guest we have ever had. No offense to any of our other guests. Okay, are you guys ready for this? This is going to be pretty cool. Let's see, Genevieve, you served our country overseas, right? You were in Germany. You served overseas.
Yes.
Thank you
for your service.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. You served as an
Thank you.
EMT in the Army. Let's see, you hold multiple degrees, graduate degrees. You're a licensed funeral director and embalmer, and you run a world-renowned museum.
Yes.
Did I miss anything?
No, that sums it up pretty well.
Wow.
Okay. And you obviously don't have an assistant because you got stuck being on our show. Yeah, because when I found out Genevieve was going to be on the show, of course I had to look her up and all this stuff, and I left out a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm telling you, man, one of the most accomplished people we've ever had on the show, and all I'm thinking is she couldn't find a lackey to fully explain to us the National Museum of Funeral History.
Well,
so
you know what I'm thinking when I hear that resume, I'm thinking, so was director or curator of the museum, was that the end game? Is that how you got there? I mean, how do you get into that?
Yeah, people always ask me that question. How did you become, the president of the museum? How did you start out? I volunteered.
Nice.
I was going through mortician school, and I volunteered to help hang lights here at the museum and got to know the staff here. And then they were doing an expansion project, and my restorative art project that we had to do in school, we had to restore an entire head, which, obviously focuses on all of the features of the face, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ears.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
So
they test our abilities as morticians to not only be able to preserve the body, but also recreate features so that the loved ones can have that final goodbye if needed. And so I ended up doing now St. John Paul II, because he died in 2005, and I was challenging myself, and I thought, if I can't do somebody that everyone in the class can recognize, then I didn't do my job very well as a restorative artist. So I chose him, and my kids were eating breakfast, and every day they kept saying, "Mom, you need to get this off the table. He's becoming more lifelike every day, and I'm afraid he's going to open his eyes."
Holy cow. So wait a minute. So beyond, doing embalming and all that other stuff, do all funeral people, are they able to remake your face so that you look like a normal person?
Just from like a skull.
What is that position called?
Yes. When you go through mortuary school, part of your curriculum is the arts, and the arts is being able to recreate features. Of course, we all have our talents. I happen to be artistic, and some people can create features very well. Once you get into the industry, you really find your niche, what you're best at, And if somebody unfortunately has a tragic accident and they lose half of their face for some reason from an accident or a gunshot or something, it's important for us to be able to recreate those features as best as possible so that the family can have that opportunity to have that one, moment of that realization that yes, their loved one has passed away, because if they don't see them, sometimes they don't believe that they truly are dead.
Oh wow, yeah. That's pretty wild.
So I got one question: do you ever get hired as a consultant by, let's say, the FBI or some criminal agency, like when they find, like, say, like a Jane Doe or John Doe corpse and they can't identify it, and they have to do like the reconstruction to the because the first step into finding solving the crime is identifying the victim, so to speak. Do you ever get called in for cases like that aside from your
No, but that's on my to-do list for my next lifetime.
Okay.
Oh, that is awesome. Okay, so let's go in the Wayback Machine. You started with the museum basically in 2007. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, but let's go further back, because you have to know this. So the museum opens up in 1992. How does somebody come up with an idea to have a National Museum of Funeral History? Because, I mean, we've had a bunch of museum people on, and there's a lot of things. I just feel like we're so long without it. How do you come up with an idea to have this and think, how are we going to get people in? So how did this thing start?
Well, how it started and how to get people in were two different challenging concepts. And I'll start with how it all started. Our late Mr. R.L. Waltrip, who is the founder of Service Corporation International, which is one of the large funeral corporations in the nation, as he began building his corporation and transforming the mom and pop funeral homes into more of the corporate setting, there's a lot of items that belong to our industry that are tools of our trade, very historical in their functionality and how we care for the dead. And, what are you going to do with a cooling board that was once used on a deceased? What are you going to do with the torche lamps or the curtains that you'd have to put up, in the home, and an embalming machine and the tools, really, truly, unless you're in the profession and it's something that was of interest to you, that stuff really has no place for any specific person, if you will. So it ends up in the landfill.
I'm sure most people wouldn't even recognize what some of that stuff is, right?
That is very true because, all that stuff is done behind closed doors.
Right.
We don't, you don't get field trips to the funeral home. So
there's a reason. Genevieve, there's a good reason for that. That would be a life-changing nightmare for everyone.
Well, no, you took an EMT. You became an EMT. Yeah. Part of being an EMT, you have to go. I had to go down to Cook County morgue when I got my EMT. We had to do a tour of the morgue in Cook County.
Wait, are we just learning that you were an EMT? Ted, did you know this?
I didn't know that, yeah.
Actually, I never practiced. I got my license in college. I took a class in college because, Genevieve, it's a really, really tough curriculum and a tough course because it's crammed in like a semester. It's hard, man, and the test is hard. And
oh, no, I believe it.
Yeah. I got it in college. I did a thing.
Okay, so as they're going, you have all this stuff, but, I mean, this is something that you guys are making money off of. I mean, how does the idea become where you can make money and people want to go to see this? Because I'm having trouble picturing the people that walk in and check this out on a daily basis.
Well, like I said, it was the passion to preserve our industry. Our industry is one of the oldest professions, caring for the dead. The minute we all began living, we began dying, and so our profession has been around for a very long time, and the tools of our trade were being discarded in the landfills. So they thought, well, why don't we create a museum that houses these funerary items and a collection of them, if you will. But it really started out with a large collection of cars, awesome hearses from all different time periods. And so it kind of started there. It was the cars that were the draw, these amazing works of art, hand-carved, paneled hearses, all made out of wood. Car enthusiasts were, really the draw to the museum. But as the museum began to evolve over time, we started to become more exhibit specific and celebratory in different traditions and or historical events, different practices of burials, and caring for our loved ones and the rituals behind them. And so now the museum is really, quite almost, it's an international place to visit. Truthfully, I mean, death is universal. We all die regardless.
It's recession proof, that's for sure.
Yeah. So if I understand this correctly, a lot of the items started to you consumed a lot of them from funeral homes that were being bought out, like mom and pop shops, right? Like you said, they all became corporate.
Yeah.
So you kind of inherited everything that came with that funeral parlor, and some of them were older than others, right?
Yes, and sometimes some of the funeral homes were closing, and they would contact us and say, "Hey, we have this amazing collection that's been in our family for 100 years, and we would like to go to the museum because where else is it going to go?"
So, is there anything that once existed in the funeral industry that is completely gone, that's been discarded, and no one has one?
I mean, I wouldn't say that nobody has one. I just would say they're no longer in use. So maybe knowing what their purpose is has been lost in the concept. Cooling boards, I think, are probably the most widely used item back in the earlier time periods that they don't use anymore. Obviously, they were used to lay the body and cool the body to room air before embalming them.
Huh. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's talk embalming. This is literally one of my favorite subjects, okay? I'll tell you what I know. You tell me if I'm wrong, and then I'm going to ask you a question about how gross it is. Embalming has been around for 8,000 years and was invented by the Egyptians, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
They are known to be our first embalmers, yes.
Okay. They went crazy. They went bonkers. They literally, during the time of the Egyptians, embalmed almost 500 million people in total. Does that sound about right?
Yes, and their embalming is done in different ways as well.
Oh, my God. Okay, so let's get to modern day embalming, okay, that you have done. Please, being as disgusting and gross as possible, what actually goes on? Because I don't actually know, like just without any of the really gross stuff.
Yeah, well, I can tell you right now, some of the movies I see on television are way more gross and disgusting than the actual process of embalming.
Just the ones with Ben Affleck. No, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, seriously, no, embalming actually, is really not that bad. It all depends. So in the embalming profession, we have terms that we go by, and if you get what we call a one pointer, that is going to be a really nice, neat, clean process, and you're going to have a fully embalmed body within about 45 minutes to an hour, and you only had to go into one point of the body. clean, no disgusting, nothing to it. Now, when you have to go into multiple areas of the body, then you're going to, we call, multiple points, different areas where the arteries and the veins lie, where you got to bring them up to the surface, then that could get a little bit more grotesque. But if you have a post body, means that they've been autopsied, that's when it gets a lot more time consuming, and then you're in the body doing the work.
Oh man, I just want to tell everybody who's eating dinner right now, enjoy that. Okay, so that is really nasty. But in America, so we started embalming, again, tell me if I'm right, during the Civil War, so that Union soldiers could have their bodies brought back so that they could have funerals. Does that sound right?
That is so right. Are you sure you haven't been on one of my tours here at the museum?
Oh man, no. See, I love doing my research. Okay, so when you guys are, I'm trying to think about the nicest way to say this without being real, without getting too like I don't. Okay, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to do this. I don't want to talk embalming anymore.
Okay, good.
I lied. Yeah, I lied. Okay, so let's go with this. You guys have a really cool exhibit called "The Life and Deaths of Popes." Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so what are some of the coolest popes and stuff that you have from the popeisms?
Vatican?
Yeah.
The papacy?
Yes. Well, you guys actually worked with the Vatican, like to set this up.
Yes.
You guys actually worked directly with the Vatican for like 3 or 4 years, right?
Wow.
Yes, it was a lot of work. It was extensive work. And then, of course, when they changed out their staffing with Pope John Paul II and brought in the new staff from Pope Benedict, there was a lot of momentum that was lost. And we had to go back to them and say, hey, don't forget about us. We're over here trying to create an amazing exhibit to honor the popes and what goes on behind the scenes in burying the popes. And that's really, truly what the exhibit is about. It's showcasing a tradition that has gone on for thousands of years when burying the Pope. But we have artifacts from Pope John Paul II, and we are currently working with the Vatican for artifacts from Pope Benedict, who just passed away.
I have an artifact from Pope John Paul II.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's a popener from Rome.
A popener?
Do you have a popener?
What is that?
It's a bottle opener with his image on it. It's called a popener. I swear to God.
No, because he came to Chicago, right?
Well, yeah, but somebody I know came back, went to Rome, and they were actually selling them in the gift store in the Vatican. There's a gift shop there.
Yeah, there's a gift shop.
That's my question. Is there a gift shop at this museum?
Yes.
Wow,
there is a gift shop, and you guys have one of my favorite things of all time.
Are they online?
So it's Okay. Oh yeah. So there's T-shirts and mugs with this phrase: "Any day above ground is a good one." Now, was that yours?
Well, that's the museum's slogan. Yeah, that's ours.
I like
yes,
because
it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. I mean, if you think about it,
yeah.
Any day above ground is a good one, because if you're below ground, you had a bad day.
Well,
unless you're a minor, and then you're having a bad day too.
What's the homicide slogan T-shirt? Our day begins when yours ends.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's think about that, because people are coming in a gift shop. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're the funeral directors. We're the last ones to let you down.
Nice. Oh my God!
Good point. Touche.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so give us an idea. I mean, you have different age groups and different pricing for everybody that comes in, right? But I mean, are families walking in here to check this out? I mean, and with all the stuff that you're buying, are people walking out with, Daddy, I got this really great, water bottle.
I mean, what's the average age of your is there
our average age? I want to say is probably late 20s, early 30s is our average age.
Mm-hmm. No way.
Yes, believe it or not.
What are they? I mean, they're so far. When I was 20, when I was in my 20s. I didn't even realize death was an option.
Yeah, old people don't want to go to a funeral museum.
Yeah, no, I think about that. Yeah, I'll be seeing you soon, Genevieve. But really, I mean, when they come in, I mean, and they're checking this stuff out, I don't know, is it smiling? Is it happy? I mean, I'm trying to figure out how you wouldn't walk in there and be like kind of depressed when you leave.
Well, when I first started here, a lot of people, I would go to a little tourist convention, where they were getting people, they would go around to the different nursing homes or convalescent homes and get people groups together to come out and do field trips to different places. And so I was like, well, let's go introduce ourselves. Let's get ourselves, make a mark in the city. And people would be like, ew. I mean, literally, if I could have a quarter for every different face contortion I experienced, I was like impressed. Sorry about that. Didn't realize you were taking a sip. But yes, I did not know that the funeral museum could generate so many different facial muscle reactions. It was like people would be just like, "Ooh, why would I want to go there? I don't want to go to the funeral museum." And I was like, "No, you got to understand. This is a really truly educational place. It's got a lot of stuff to learn." And I had to shift the paradigm. And when I'm sitting there and the people are literally reading our tablecloth and they're going, "Oh, the Museum of Natural Science." No, read it again. "Oh, the Museum of..." And just for some reason, their brain could not comprehend that they were reading the National Museum of Funeral History. It's the word funeral they could not get their brain to wrap around. And I said, well, this is a major disconnect. And that really became my work and passion for about 6 years, to really plug myself into areas in our city and let people know that, what, we are here as a neutral environment, an educational opportunity to come and teach your children about death. Children learn the concept of death as early as the age of 2. Psychologically, they understand that there is a form of absence, but they don't know what it's called. But they understand that something's missing, something's gone. And so as they begin to age, then we start exposing them to cartoons where there's, oh gosh, how many times has the coyote died and come back to life, right? Yeah. But that's not real. But that's just in the cartoons. And in every Disney cartoon, somebody's died. The parents died. They're orphaned. And so the children have been exposed to it. So why not bring them to the National Museum of Funeral History and really help them understand what death is really like in life instead of what it's like in Hollywood?
Yeah. And you guys have some neat stuff. You guys have a presidential funeral exhibit. And you actually have something from George Washington's funeral. Is that right?
Yeah, we have his funeral. Yeah, we have his funeral bill. So you could see how much things cost back then.
Oh my God!
And his funeral was a whopping $99.
Yeah, not adjusted for inflation today, obviously.
Yeah. Adjusted for inflation today, a couple million maybe.
Well, Teddy, here I'll give you an idea. The funeral business is worth $20 billion a year.
Should be worth more than that.
$20 billion, and to put in perspective, cosmetics, the entire cosmetics industry is worth $40 billion.
Yeah.
So I couldn't believe that. I thought it'd be completely like cosmetics should be like $200 billion. Yeah. It's literally only half of that.
Right.
And think about how many commercials we see for every single thing that you can do to yourself. Eyelashes and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so you guys have a celebrity section too. Is this right?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the memories. Yes, it's basically somebody that I can guarantee that there is somebody in that exhibit that you will have remembered. It'll bring back a memory for you. Whether it's something they invented, it's a song they sang, it's a movie they were featured in. I mean, if they were famous or they invented something and they've unfortunately passed away, then we try to feature them in there.
Now I have one. This is a silly question, but I just have to ask this. Now you don't actually have any embalmed bodies in the funeral museum, like people who would have donated their body to science, like behind like a glass case or something, like Vladimir, Lenin. He lays in a state of perpetual slumber in the Kremlin. You don't have anything like that in your museum. It's all just strictly.
No, interesting enough, we wouldn't be able to get away with that. Yeah. I mean, Body Worlds gets away with it, mm-hmm. we wouldn't,
Gotcha.
It was interesting when, as I was like, growing into this position and representing the museum and really understanding what it took to run such a niched museum and maintain this delicate balance between death and life and how they perceive it and how can I get them to accept it. I literally would go to other museums and I'd watch people. And one time I was in Rome and I was watching these people and they were Americans, so I could understand what they were saying. And there was this urn, this large urn, and it said on the ticket, the description said, "This once held the remains of." And they were just gawking over it. They were like, "Wow, this is fascinating." And they're all looking at it. And I was like sitting back going, I would never get away with that in my museum. If I put something in my museum and it said this once held the remains of, people would just be aghast, Really? So there's it's this, what's acceptable in one place isn't acceptable in another based on its environment,
Gotcha.
And so it's fascinating, and I do get that question a lot. Are the caskets that we have, are they used? Absolutely not. We have a profound respect for the dead and for the people they leave behind.
So there was a show. It was actually one of my favorite shows. Still kind of is. It was the show 6 Feet Under from HBO.
Oh yes, I know that one very well.
That actually brought the funeral industry to the forefront for a bunch of years because it was really popular. And a lot of people were learning about the funeral industry. Part of it was the small funeral parlors being bought up by corporations.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting. It was just a contrast, and it was, some storylines in there, but it ran for a long time. I mean, that probably did a lot of good for it popularized the funeral industry.
Well, the funny, it's not funny, but I mean, sometimes when you hear about a funeral home, it's always like something bad. Like, for example, like the funeral director or whoever runs the funeral home, they're not actually like performing the funeral. They're like, they have like a boneyard in back, where I think there was a funeral home in Georgia a few years ago where I guess instead of like, to cut costs, they were actually burying bodies in the back, and they found like 200 corpses or remains of loved ones. They arrested the funeral owner or director on multiple felony charges. So sometimes you hear about those stories too as well in the mainstream media.
Oh yeah, you always hear about the bad stories like that, and they're the ones that unfortunately just they're like the one bad apple, right, in the bunch.
Sure.
And then they got to spoil it for the rest, basically. But it really goes to show, like, I have to say, for the state of Texas and the state of California, those are two of the strictest states as far as maintaining a licensure to practice caring for the dead.
Sure.
And those laws are there for a reason, to keep stuff like that from happening.
No, that makes perfect sense. Actually, I totally forgot about this. My sister was on the show last week and reminded me my uncle and my grandfather ran a funeral home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I completely forgot. They lived above it. I completely, it's just one of those things where you just kind of you forget about those things that you were doing. But
because usually the funeral home, the person lives. It's like a like a multi-use building where the funeral home be on the first floor, and actually the actual director lives above the funeral home, which is
and this will show you how probably how simple they thought I was when I was younger. We never got to see any of that stuff. They never showed us anything.
Sure.
Yeah, we never went in there. Yeah, and I'm sure that they just, I was probably just a little idiot, and they probably figured I would just run around and break stuff, and end up putting different parts of bodies together.
And now you're on a show called The Three Idiots, so you've come full circle.
Yeah. You know what? So somewhere my uncle and my grandfather are just like, yeah, this totally fits. Yeah. Okay, so you guys just opened up a new exhibit, okay, and I think it's just like a couple of weeks, and the Shroud of Turin. Is that correct?
Yes.
No. So do you guys have? And I did a little bit of research. Let me get this straight. Is the Shroud of Turin the cloth that Jesus was wrapped up in after he was crucified? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what the Shroud of Turin is the cloth that they believed was that which wrapped Jesus after he was crucified and placed in the tomb. Okay. And then after he was resurrected, then obviously all that was left in the tomb was the shroud itself.
So do you have that in your museum right now?
We don't have the original. Nobody has. The only person that has the original is the shroud of. Is in Turin itself.
Oh, okay.
Under guard of the Pope. Yes, that never leaves Turin. That's the Holy Shroud. That's the original. This is a certified copy from the Bishop of Turin and the Archdiocese of Turin. And this shroud, became more special than we ever thought because, we had put our request in back in 2018 with the Bishop of Turin to see if we can get a certified copy. You can get a copy, any day you want off of Amazon or eBay, but it's not certified. It's just a copy. Right. And so, of course, with my museum, if it's not certified or authenticated in some way, then it doesn't belong in my museum. And so we went all the way to Turin and tried to get a certified copy.
And where's Turin? Where is Turin? I don't even know where that is.
In Italy.
Italy, okay.
Sorry, it's in Italy.
I'm sorry.
That is really cool. I love the fact that you just said that if it's not certified, it's not going into my museum.
That's great.
That's a really neat thing. I mean, I love the ownership,
quality control.
Yeah, no, I think it's really neat. That is such a cool thing. Okay, do you guys have a charity golf outing every year? Is that right?
Yes, we do.
And you guys raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for the museum. Does it go to other places besides the museum? Do you guys do other things with it?
No, right now it actually is what sustains us. it truly is our operating costs.
Oh, wow.
That annual golf tournament.
Oh, that is so cool. Okay, so I'm assuming you might not know this. I never assume, right? That we are avid golfers, the three of us.
Wow.
Okay, Ted is very bad. Mark,
he has to make a point to mention
Mark,
that every
Mark,
single
I would
time.
say is moderate, and he'll get better as he plays. I'm actually a very good golfer. You know, I wouldn't say I'm a scratch golfer. Very good. We would love to be part of that. If
we'd love to have you.
Yeah, that'd be. We could be the. I mean, if you wanted to, we could be the celebrities there, and give a talk or whatever. I mean, being very famous and alive.
Yeah.
Hopefully alive.
Well, Ted would need to get permission to leave the state.
Yeah.
5-year plan. Don't die. Right.
Yeah. And then I would tell you this: don't let Ted touch stuff in the museum. Yeah.
I'm respectful.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
a toucher.
I'm not touching anything. So.
Actually, there is one place in the museum that we do encourage touching. Yeah, just one.
Okay.
There's a sign there. It says, "Please touch."
And it is.
What's that?
It is actually the crypt front of Marilyn Monroe.
Wait, like the legit actual one?
Yes, the legit actual one. So when they were switching out the crypt front of Marilyn Monroe, they they asked if we wanted the front of it, and of course, we said yes, we'd love to feature it, and thanks for the memories. And so we did, and so we had to have the nameplate made. So what happens is that people touch the nameplate and it wears down the metal on the nameplate. Mm-hmm. And so they have to change that out once it gets worn down. And that's what they were doing. And so we have the actual crypt front with lipstick prints and everything from people that have come up and kissed it.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And then the metal plate itself where her name is, that's where we ask people to touch, because we hope that ours start to wear down as well, like the original does.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That is so... you know what? I know there's a movie about Marilyn Monroe. I guess I have to watch it
There's
just
a lot
to
of movies
see.
about
Well, there's like some biography thing, but I guess I have to see this to get the idea of why people would be so enamored and like
like any celebrity. When when Elvis died, right? I mean, it's just like people still go to Graceland to this day because he was such an iconic figure. Died young. He died in 19. I remember when he died. He died in 1977. And I remember it, and I'm just 7 years old. And I don't even care about Elvis, So it's just, but it's just like when anyone famous dies, especially when they die young, it's just a psychological thing that people get,
It is. I get it. Okay.
Affects them.
Genevieve, all right.
Some people never die.
That's true.
Some people never die.
That's true.
That's
like Tupac.
And Elvis. Elvis is everywhere.
Elvis. Oh man. That is such a depressing movie. That's the thing that's keeping me from watching the Marilyn Monroe movie. I don't want to be sad. I can't even deal with it. I was complaining to somebody that I was watching a movie or True Detective, and then everybody in it was bad. Everybody. I was like, why am I watching this? I don't like any of these people. If they all just disappeared off this movie. And Vince Vaughn's in it, and I think Vince Vaughn's a terrible actor. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. All right. So Genevieve,
you know what, you guys? Let me tell you, December 4th. You need to put that on your calendar.
Right.
December 4th. Mm-hmm. And make sure you send me your address, and I'm going to send you all the information for the golf tournament.
Isn't that D-Day?
No,
and your buddies.
That's June 6th.
Oh.
All right.
What's December 4th?
So here's some good pointers for you. You have mulligans, and we score on flights, so everyone has a chance to win. You see?
Ted, you could play against all the terrible players and have a chance to win, and I could play against the good players.
And I could take endless do-overs. That's all I heard. Endless mulligans.
Oh man, don't get used to that because I
get the score that I want.
That is a pretend thing for only that outing. We never ever do that. All right, so Genevieve, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you so much.
Oh man,
thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
I loved it. I'm so glad we got a chance to talk to you and. Man, it's so neat, and we have so many things that we're doing over the around all through America. And what I'm hoping for is that we get down there and we can check out the golf and check out the museum. That'd be great.
Make sure you put us on your bucket list.
Zing.
All right, thanks so much, Genevieve. Have a good night. All right.
Take care. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh man,
that was interesting. That was very.
I went on the website. It's really nice.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It is really interesting, right? It's like the concept of death, but kind of like in a non kind of like weird kind of death.
Yeah, because it's all the apparatus used to embalm people.
So much more.
Ted asked if they had a dead body there.
Well,
it kind of makes sense. I mean,
I got to be 100% honest.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what she was going to say.
I didn't know.
I mean, they could have a body under glass or something, right? I don't know.
If someone donates their body to science, I mean, like that Body Works.
That's
which
not
I think
science,
is,
though. That's like for entertainment.
Correct.
I donate my body to entertainment.
Right. But at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, they actually do have, I think, like
that exhibit,
donated
that
those
tour
the fetuses. They show like
yeah.
babies who
For sure.
those are real. Those are real.
Really?
That's
yes.
real.
Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah.
People who I guess like the body.
They also have that tour and exhibit with the real human body.
Okay.
Like real.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
Seen that?
I don't. I just don't remember it.
Or Body Works. I think that's the one where people donate their body to science, and that's pretty interesting. So
yeah, I mean they got a whole thing on cremation.
Yeah, sure.
And it was wild. So when I looked it up, and this is weird. I didn't want to keep it forever, but actually, cremation was actually used as a punishment. Like they would, like if you died, and they would have they'd cremate your body,
just to erase
and then it was
to erase you from the earth.
It was like to punish your
you
soul.
You don't exist. Yeah.
Yeah. So all people would be like, oh no, they cremated him. Yeah. And he's bad. He's gonna like drift on forever.
Well, not cremation's the way to go unless you want to spend $10,000 on a funeral, or you can get cremated.
It's actually
and put in
more expensive.
You can get put in a Folgers coffee can like in the Big Lebowski when remember Donnie died. And they put him in a Folgers can, and they're going to throw his ashes, and it comes back and blows.
Isn't it like more expensive or something? Or
no, it should be cheaper.
Is it
cremation?
That I don't know.
I would think cremation's got to be cheaper.
It's cheaper. Yeah, you're right. It has to be. But I know it's not.
This is a very modest earn.
Yeah. So I kind of did my research. There's a little more than 2 million funerals a year. Okay, across America, and it's a $20 billion industry.
Sure. Recession proof.
I mean,
right?
think about all that because there's the land, there's all the stuff that goes on, right? Then the burial, then the tombstones and crypts, and all this kind of stuff that goes on, and all the different things. Yeah,
I'm just.
I mean, think about how many hours you think it would take for her to put your face back together if a dog like bit your face off.
Yeah.
So that your loved ones could see, like a whole face.
Yeah,
that's got to be tough.
Sure,
and it's got to be expensive. I mean that
I'm
ain't
sure
cheap,
none of that's cheap. Yeah, so
that'd be funny. Like you know what he was a big fan of Batman, so we just put a Batman mask on.
Yeah, they should just do Spider-Man, Batman, Spider-Man pajamas.
That would be that would be the worst thing of all time.
We're gonna bury you with a Bryson DeChambeau mask, or no? We're not doing that.
What?
I'm kidding.
There's no way there's a Bryson DeChambeau mask anywhere on the planet. Please. Oh man,
there has to be.
Okay, hold on. Let me write this down. Mask. People who make masks of people no one cares about. All right.
Wax museum one of these times. The wax museum, that's always interesting.
Yeah, but those aren't real bodies.
No, but it's like likenesses.
Do they have a lot of wax museums?
I think there's a bunch of them. I mean, I know they're more
I feel like
prevalent.
that was a thing a long time ago.
No, I think there's one in England.
Yeah.
There's one in England. It's real famous.
There's a lot of them.
I think it's Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. It's like the world famous. It's like in France or something.
But we're saying world famous. I mean, do people actually? Nobody makes an effort to go there.
It's world famous, so I mean, someone sounds like they're going there.
I mean, lots of things.
Vegas, Ripley's, believe it or not.
Yeah, research that. So just FYI. So
okay,
I went to a cool museum on Sunday.
Where'd you go? Oh, the illusion one, right?
Yeah. It was actually pretty cool. It was nice.
Those pictures were pretty wild.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Those were
I saw that,
cool exhibits. Okay. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
I thought you were in a bouncy house for a second.
No, it was crowded too, man. It's pretty small, but it was cool.
I believe that. Yeah. So let me ask you this: Are you guys glass half full or glass half empty guys?
I'd like to be glass half full guy.
Right now,
but are you glass half
can half full?
Yeah, I'm bottle mostly empty guy. But what about you, Mark? Glass half full, glass half empty.
More half full.
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty positive about that. We were playing golf with our buddy Johnny Fritz.
Yeah,
and he's a glass half empty guy.
Well, you can usually tell. You could tell who the half empty people are just by you don't have to ask them that question. You could just see and when.
Oh yeah,
So he's like almost empty.
Well, what's the old expression? If you gave someone, like if you gave a person who complains a lot, if you gave them a gold brick, they complain how heavy it was. So there you go.
Yeah, I would, until
versus saying thank you. So
yeah, okay. And the reason I bring that up is there's a woman in Salt Lake City, and she was a glass half full person.
Oh, that's good.
No, that's pretty cool. And again, it kind of goes along with this. Her husband died a little while back, and she decided to use that tragedy to write a children's book to help kids deal with the loss of a parent.
Okay.
Mark, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Dude,
he's thinking there's going to be like a punchline in this.
No, this is a real thing. Yeah, this is absolutely a real thing. She did that. She was actually in Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah. She was on, the book is called Are You With Me? Yeah, Are You With Me? And she was on,
I'm here.
The morning shows, like the Utah morning shows. I think it was kind of cool. Good Things Utah. is the morning show there.
Oh,
yeah. And she talked about her book, and I wanted to get her on the show, but unfortunately there was one small problem with getting her on the show to talk about her book about her husband passing away.
Is that the one was charged with murder?
Yes,
she was charged with murder.
She actually murdered her husband.
Yeah, that's the one. I was thinking of her. Yeah,
she murdered him.
Yeah.
What?
Yes. So
I heard
that's not in the book, though.
No,
that's in real life. Yeah. Yeah, the Sus and Napoleon I've been talking about for the last few episodes. That's what they found. That's what they found in him.
Let's do this. And the final page is this: he should not have talked to me that way, and that is why I murdered him.
So she went on this whole tour and everything, promoting the book. Yeah. So obviously, years have passed.
No, it was recent,
pretty recent. Yeah, because it was a recent story.
Roughly about 6 months.
It was a recent story. Yeah.
So within 6 months, she wrote a book, had it published, and went on a tour, and then
something like that. Yeah, it might have been a little bit longer.
So she had her 15 minutes of fame.
And when was she arrested? When did they?
Just recently.
Yeah,
she
very recently.
Just recently arrested for.
Told you, arsenic, and stays in the fingernails.
But here's the thing. Here's
hair follicles.
This is the weird timeline of this. She basically killed her husband right about the time we started our show, and Ted constantly talked about poisoning people, and then literally gave examples about different poisons.
How not to poison.
No,
wait. Is she a listener?
She's a
listener.
We have so Utah is one of our states. We have a lot of listeners.
We might get subpoenaed.
I doubt
subpoenaed.
Ted might get subpoenaed.
Subpoenaed.
Not again.
No, but yeah, I mean, what a crazy thing. She knows she did this, right? I mean, let's just say that she did.
Let's assume she's innocent until proven guilty.
Okay,
in a court of law.
But let's just say that maybe she did this thing. And the whole time she's writing this book and doing all this stuff, and at some point, I mean, you got to figure. I mean, after 6 months or a year, you got to figure I'm scot-free on this.
Now she's going to have a movie.
Man, we searched your hard drive, and why does it say how to poison my husband with belladonna or rat poison?
Can you
explain that?
Yeah. No, it was
prosecution arrests.
Yeah, it's just the weirdest thing. But in her defense,
yes.
Really good book.
Yeah,
I looked through it, and it really does make a lot of sense.
It's a children's book.
It's a children's book. It's like the Giving Tree, you know.
Yeah.
Except now she has nothing left to give.
She gave all the poison to him.
She gave it all. Yeah, all the poison's gone.
But yeah, I mean, it was an interesting concept of the book.
So the Giving Tree, the last page, the branches are bare because the Giving Tree gave all. In her book, the last page is a bottle of strychnine. It's empty because she poured it all in his omelet. Yeah, that's all. That's all.
So every page it has the vial there, and
it just goes less and less.
As you go through it.
It's in a protein shake. It's in a sandwich.
How did he die?
It's on his toothbrush, you know. So.
It was a mystery. It was a total mystery. Yeah, and I love the concept that, again, she knows what's happening and is completely willing to just put herself out there.
What if she gets off?
It's possible.
She could. I mean,
she did kill him, but
she gets away with it, or maybe she honestly
she was
Ted's
abused,
right.
or like.
Well, I mean, that's the first thing.
Poisoning's
a
pretty premeditated thing, so I think her defense is going to have to be, I didn't do it. I mean, there was poison in his system, but maybe he accidentally poisoned himself.
You mean like the other woman that was poisoning her husband?
He accidentally shot himself in the back of the head 4 times.
Yeah, no,
he was taping it.
There was the
one in California.
Yeah. And she said that she gave him like rat poison.
Well, that's what he said, but she claims. But then her attorney says, she was just doing it to clean the drain. But that's what
she was using rat poison to clean the drain, and she poured it in a coffee mug with his name on it.
You know how they proved that to be true? There's no rats in her drain.
No.
Well, there's a rat, all right. It's just not a rodent.
I love the concept of this. Yeah. I really do. It kind of makes me excited for people.
Yeah.
Because I mean, just think about, you got to have some balls to do that.
Yeah, well, the funny thing, it's like the person who goes on those GoFundMe pages claiming like they're sick with cancer, and then they collect a lot of money, and then it turns out they don't have cancer. It's kind of
but nobody gets that money back. So even if they have to give some of it back, I mean, they spend a lot of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody who gave gets their money back.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that makes me super cynical.
Yeah, you're right.
It does.
I don't know how that works.
Right. Like I see all this stuff. Like, do this.
I give money a lot.
Do you really?
To those.
I haven't received any lately from you.
No, to like, I mean, yeah.
Really?
I probably do once a month.
I'm going to tell you how bad of a person I am.
Doesn't GoFundMe,
I have never.
Doesn't
never
GoFundMe take like 20%? Like, say you donate $1, they take.
No, they don't. No.
Oh,
are you sure they don't take anything?
No,
they're doing it for free.
No,
No,
I
absolutely.
see.
Ted,
I
Ted,
see.
out of the goodness of their heart.
no.
No.
Out of
GoFundMe
the-
doesn't take anything. They don't. You can.
How do they
actually,
get paid?
I'll explain to you. They actually ask when you make a donation. They ask if you would like to add to your donation to support GoFundMe.
Well, then the answer is no.
no, and it's not an expensive thing to do.
Probably like 50 cents or $1 or something, right?
Well, no, I mean you could give whatever you want. What I'm saying is what the service they're providing is not real cost heavy. So anything anybody gives sustains them, and they move on. And they have sponsor. They make money through sponsorships and shit like that.
See, I just that whole thing. I can't believe that you would do that. That's
Well, I mean, one of my friends died, and
No,
I know
I
his
totally
kids,
get
and
it.
we raised money for him through GoFundMe, and
okay.
it's people I know for the most part. That one girl that died in the neighborhood who had cancer, and she just passed Molly. They had a GoFundMe page for her. I gave money to her.
yeah.
Stuff like that. I mean, yeah.
That's what. Now it just makes me look like a worse person than I already am,
That's
and I'm
not-
already a terrible person. Yeah.
Oh, you're just asking.
that was
you're just
easy.
asking tough
That was
questions. You're just asking tough questions. You're
not-
just
Start a podcast.
You're just
pal.
cynical. You're just deeply suspicious of all motives.
That's
there.
like, don't.
I am,
deeply,
dude.
suspicious.
Here's the problem. Every time I go anywhere or see anything, I'm suspicious of it. No, I am. I'm serious. There was a woman.
That's why he's always looking at us.
No.
Ted, he suspects us all the time. Which one of these fuckers is going to take over my show?
Who's casing my house?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Listen, people ring my doorbell. I'll walk right up to the door. I don't care if my front door is open and the glass screen door is right there. They'll ring the doorbell. I'll come downstairs. I'll take a look, and when I know that it's not any of my friends, it's not anybody.
Oh, you do that? I hide. I can't.
I will
that.
literally just walk away. Mm-hmm. They'll ring the doorbell a couple more times. I'll just sit and watch TV. Yeah, I'm not interested in talking.
You must be really fun on Halloween.
No, on Halloween it's all the neighborhood kids. I told you what I did.
Or
with,
just put out the little pumpkin in front with the candies in it, so you don't have to even serve them.
What if it's somebody ringing your doorbell just to tell you, sir, your garage door is brown?
your garage door? Someone painted your garage door purple.
Hey, moron! Yeah, it's brown. You thought it was green. It's brown.
Right. His car's on fire. Yeah. He's not answering the door. Fuck him. he don't care.
Sir, I have a check for $1 million.
Yeah, it turns out that guy was just telling you your car's on fire.
Long lost relative just left you a check for $1.
Dude, if my car started on fire, I would.
Ed McMahon's at the door.
I would cry so.
No, you would just check you have full coverage,
Ted,
and then gently file a claim with the insurance company.
I have tears in my eyes. I love my car.
You do.
That is the greatest car. That Mercedes I bought for my brother-in-law is the greatest car I've ever owned.
Because you got it
in
for
my
a
life.
song.
No, Ted.
Oh, this is the can that fell on my foot, dude.
Yeah, it's like riding around in
Yeah.
heaven.
You have a tusk on your foot? There's a big dent.
Remember I told you
Like a horn? You have a horn on your foot?
Are you a hobbit? Are you now, or have you ever been?
last week before I came to the show,
It's like
I
a
was
velociraptor
taking beers
claw.
out of the fridge, and they fell out of the case, and one landed on my foot, and another one hit the edge of the refrigerator and exploded, and was spraying around the kitchen. And I'm doing a dance on one foot because the other one dropped like 5 feet out of the refrigerator right onto my bare foot. The top, you know how sensitive the top of your feet are.
But you're still going to drink it, of course.
Oh yeah.
Because
Well,
it's not the beer's fault.
Well, I mean, the bear didn't do it. Oh, angry bear. Okay.
And just for the record, this is a Bud Light.
Disguised as a Pabst Blue Ribbon.
That whole thing that they keep on grinding.
I read about
on
it. So I had to read it today. I had to read.
No.
I just wanted to find out what the hoopla is because, like I said 2 weeks ago or whatever it was, am I missing something? What is going on here? Why is it such a big deal to people? And I was at my friend's house last night, and he doesn't care either, but somebody in his family cares about it, so we didn't talk about it. I'm like, what's going on? And so it was kind of a campaign on TikTok.
Yeah.
With her, Mulvaney, and Bud Light. And it was to promote this thing. It's called a carry-all or something. They were having this contest.
It's
on
European.
social media. Huh?
It's European. It's a carry-all.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I never heard of that. What is that?
It's
a purse
Seinfeld.
or
It's
something.
Seinfeld.
Oh, okay.
So they had this competition. It was on social media to see how many people, how many cans you could carry like across the room or something. So you gather up all these Bud Light cans, and it was a contest. And she became part of the campaign in some way.
She won?
No.
Oh.
She's an influencer on TikTok. She makes millions of dollars.
10 million views
Wow.
on that Bud Light thing. I think 10
Yeah,
million.
so
they
did a campaign with her.
I can't even be influenced by anybody at this table, much less someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ted, you will not be influenced enough to even bring the right thing to our golf trip. So yeah.
So the point is, the whole thing it's not that big of a freaking deal.
No,
it's just really
apparently it is because Bud Light sales
like Bud Light
dropped
because
26%.
I still don't understand.
Again, I have a job, so I don't drink Bud Light. I don't drink Miller Light. I drink real beer.
Well, like I said, if I'm an ad marketing executive for
Modelo Negro right now,
Negro Modelo.
If I'm an ad marketing executive for a large beverage company like Anheuser-Busch, I'm thinking to myself, well, isn't beer drinking already all inclusive unless you're under the age of 21? So let's not.
Like that makes a difference.
So let's not. I mean, under the age of
you know how many
17.
You know how many 15-year-olds they lost. You know how many hillbilly 15-year-olds Bud Light lost.
You know what we used to do?
You should.
No, I'm not gonna say.
Yeah. So basically,
What?
We used to.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they broke it.
Before we were 21, we'd
Now they
hang
can't
out
fix
this Irish bar, and we used to we couldn't afford. We could afford a pitcher of Guinness, but we couldn't afford a pitcher of Harp to do half and halves.
Yeah.
So we'd get a pitcher of Bud Light and a pitcher of Guinness and do our half-halves that way.
That's how you did your black and tans?
Black and tans,
okay.
Oh, my
black
God.
and tan is with, and one's with Bass and one's with Harp.
Yeah.
I forget.
Or just go Irish car bomb, Jameson, drop it in the
that
Guinness.
was too much as well.
Oh man, so we're God. You know what? It makes me sound like I don't do anything. But we were golfing yesterday.
Matt doesn't do anything.
You got a lot of leisure time, but go ahead.
And Tommy Usher, who was on the show, he goes ahead and he gets a taste of a beer, and he's got it in a little rocks glass, and so I thought it was whiskey.
Okay.
So he's just got a little taste, and I'm like, oh man, what beer is that you got? And he pushes that little glass, the taster glass, towards me, and I think it's whiskey, and it's like 2:00 in the afternoon.
Where was this at?
We were at Fox Run.
So you were in the clubhouse already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I push it away, and I'm like, I don't want that. Right? Because I'm free. I'm like, I'm not going to drink. It was like 2 fingers of whiskey. I'm like, I'm just not a whiskey drinker, which is going to be weird when we have on the people from North Shore Distillery.
Well, no,
they're
actually big in gin and vodka.
Yeah, but I don't drink any of that.
That's
stuff.
how they start.
I don't
you
drink.
don't?
I don't drink any hard liquor at all.
So
man.
yeah, that's going to be a great show because I'm very familiar with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember when they first started, the husband and wife. I know a lot about it anyway. So finish your story.
Oh yeah. So I push it away, and Tommy's like, he like I'm 5. He goes, no, not like I'm 5 because it's beer. But he goes, that's a taste of the beer. I'm like, oh man! I thought it was whiskey.
Wait, they gave him a sample? Or something?
They just gave him a sample, and he gave me some of it. And I was just like, oh, it's really good. But yeah, and the bartender guy is laughing, and I'm just like, I don't like
because some of the beer's that color, right? The beer was the color.
Yeah, it was
of
the
whiskey.
exact color of whiskey. And I go, I don't drink whiskey. And the bartender looks at me, and he just does one of these. Like I'm some kind of jerk off who doesn't, you don't like whiskey.
No, you're just a buffoon. That's all I mean.
Yeah. It was so weird. I'm like, I was being
he was doing that
judged.
because it was beer.
No, but dude, I was being No. I think he was when I told him I didn't drink whiskey. That's when he poo-pooed.
Did you drink the beer?
Yes, of
I
course
only drink whiskey.
Was it good?
I only drink whiskey so people will like me. No,
that's the reason I do a podcast.
Wow.
Mark. Yeah, I have
who are you trying to impress?
Yeah, I have no actual friends.
I'm reaching,
and this way I can get lots of emails, and people can say, "I like you," and I'm like, "I like you too."
The last 2 bottles of whiskey I've purchased, I ended up giving away. Yeah, because we went to a party. I bought a real nice bottle of whiskey, brought it home, and then we go to my cousin's house for a Kentucky Derby party. And I'm like, God, this would be really good to give them. It's kind of housewarming party, so we brought that.
So you regifted it and gave it, which is nothing wrong with that.
I didn't open it, so it's not regifted.
Yeah. Well, you handled it, yeah.
I only had 1 drink out of this. Exactly. There you go. Yeah, I thought it was terrible.
And then you topped it off with soda to make it look like it was full. Okay, gotcha. All right, that's
you know what? The only thing I'll sip is like really, really good, like the top quality tequila.
Yeah, I love that. I can sip that too.
Yeah, very, very.
I have some mezcal at home that is like. Yeah, it doesn't even. It's just so smoky.
I got some mezcal from Mexico. If you want, I got like 5 bottles of it. I don't drink it.
5 bottles.
Yeah, well, my contractor brought it for me.
Seriously?
Yeah. So I mean, it's like top. I haven't opened it.
Oh, dude, I love mezcal.
I'll bring you mezcal.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I'll bring you mezcal.
We could have a. You know what? I mean,
we could have a mezcal party.
We could have a tequila party here. One show could just be a tequila party.
Terrible.
That would be. That'd be a horrible idea.
Can I just bring up a random thought? I just want to talk about my favorite punching bag in the world. I thought, I needed a person to punch down on. I found that person.
Yeah, go ahead.
Prince Andrew. So he was in the news. He's the wayward brother of
he was hanging out with Jeffrey
King Charles.
Epstein.
Yeah, he's the Jeffrey Epstein guy who denied the whole thing. His mommy paid his $14 million settlement for him to make it all go away. So apparently King Charles wants to evict him from, I think, wherever he's. I don't want to say Buckingham Palace, but he's living in a 50-room mansion right now with supposedly a 75-year lease, and they want to move him to Frogmore Cottage, which is only like, I guess, a 20-room mansion, and he's refusing to leave.
Can you imagine that
Oh,
lifestyle?
and by the way, his allowances have been cut. I don't know what it was before, but now it's only $399,000 per year in U.S. dollars.
And they don't even need money because everything they get is just given to them. What do they need money for?
Well, there's horses, there's polo, there's
people just I don't know. They don't have any bills.
I am completely
So I want to
shocked.
start a GoFundMe page for Prince Andrew so we can keep him in the lifestyle he so richly deserves.
Well, if you give money to that man,
because a single grown man
that'll
definitely
be the
needs
first
a 50
time Matt donates money.
Oh my God,
Ted's GoFundMe.
I am so overwhelmed.
Except it's going to be Monopoly money. It's not going to be real dollars. The one from the Monopoly. So
I feel like why even evict him? Why not just pay somebody to whack him?
Oh my God!
Hasn't he been on the earth? I mean, for all the things that he's done.
No, it's funny. He should get together with that.
serious.
He should get together with that Erica Harmon, Tiger Woods' ex, because she doesn't want to leave her mansion either. She claims she has a 5-year oral contract or oral lease.
She's literally not a child molester.
She left.
So they should.
I think she.
Yeah, but they should put them in the same place together since they're both good at squatting in places they don't belong.
No, being Tiger Woods' ex-girlfriend and being a goddamn child molester.
No, the point is he doesn't want to leave his place.
Of course he doesn't want to leave
He's being
his
asked
place.
nicely to leave. So.
Oh man!
Hey, where do you think that
tugs
9
on the
iron
heart.
is? that hit Tiger Woods in the mouth.
Oh, it's probably got to be in the World Golf Hall of Fame.
Dude, do you know how much money that thing's worth?
I'm 100% sure
it's
that
one of the easiest. It's one of the easiest.
It's gone, right? It's
but
like
nobody
in the
involved in that needed any money. Tiger Woods didn't need any money, and his ex-wife.
No,
didn't
I mean
need that
somebody.
money.
If like one of the cops walked away with that,
yeah, but you couldn't. I mean, you couldn't.
I
say
thought it
that
was.
you
I thought it was
had
an 8-iron.
I don't know. I think it was a lofted club. That's for sure. Took out all his fucking teeth, man.
I don't think.
I didn't realize he got hit in the mouth like that. No.
What happened to no swearing, Mr. Swearsy?
Swear jar.
Yeah,
She's
Mr.
not-
you're
she's
Swearsy.
gone.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. We made an agreement.
But we're still here.
But
you know what? I'm not funding you on the GoFundMe page. All right, last thing I want to get to because I thought this was such a great idea, and I don't want it to go away. A senator from Tennessee has figured out how to stop school shootings.
a what?
A senator from Tennessee.
A nobleman.
You know,
A gentleman.
yes, a gentleman.
A learned doctor.
Actually, I think it's a lady. I think it's a woman. I think it's a woman. She came up with the idea of how to stop school shootings.
That's my wife.
Yeah, you ready? What she wants to do is she wants to get armed ex-military, ex-police, and grandparents to create a wall of safety, armed, around schools.
More guns.
No,
a zone
don't-
of safety.
Okay, you're looking at it the wrong way. She is going to create a system
A safe space.
where people with guns could not possibly get into a school with guns unless they could get the guns away from the very old people that have the guns that are surrounding the
pointing
school.
at me. He's
and then
he's
going
mansplaining to
into
me.
the school with the
I'm in the
guns that
direction
are
of it, too.
outside the school.
Ted, he's mansplaining to us.
Right. Plus, don't worry. The plan also includes armed teachers.
Dude, put that finger away, man.
Armed teachers.
That's crazy.
No.
No, but this is actually like on paper, right? She presented it as a solution.
This is a
Government
real
official. This is our solution.
live, and this was.
And
this
she
was,
had to mention grandparents.
Yes, yes, because grandparents. You ready? This is her reasoning. Hold on, this is her reasoning. Grandparents love their grandkids.
Yeah.
Yes, so they would be willing to
And
lay
they
down
always
their
pick 'em
lives.
Is that the hill they're going to choose to die on?
Wait, hold on. If they do, we'll call Genevieve immediately.
Exactly, yeah.
And we can get some of that.
She's in Houston. The
Yeah.
funeral museum's in Houston. So
Go pick up the kids.
Yeah, that is a legit plan spoken by an actual person who was elected by other people, who is an adult, and we have to assume had at one point a brain.
And everybody's armed.
Yes, and this is after Tennessee decided that they couldn't. It was illegal, constitutionally illegal, to not have 18, 19, and 20-year-olds be able to buy guns.
So now,
Because they had a little thing that said 21 and over, and they said no, that's totally illegal. You have to be. You can be 18. Where's the magic number?
Well,
with that?
in Farmington, New Mexico, there was another mass shooting, and I guess it was an 18-year-old. And apparently, he legally bought like an AR-15 rifle before he went on that shooting spree, and
right after he turned 18,
and ended up getting off by the cops. But the point is, he legally bought that assault rifle or whatever weapon he
Don't
was
these
using.
things cost money? Where are kids? Where's a kid? I mean, when Jack was 18, there was no way he had enough money to buy an AR-15.
I don't even know what the cost is. What does that even cost? I'd have to Google
It's got to
it.
be like $5,000,
You would
$500.
think, right? I mean,
Any idea?
I have no idea. No.
I have all my AR-15s were given to me as gifts. Yeah, so I honestly have no idea. Well, you guys saw, was it there was something happened this weekend? a 12-year-old and a 20-year-old are in a car. They go to a Sonic drive-through. Mm-hmm. Immediately, the 20-year-old and some guy, the drive-through guy, the Sonic, are fighting. The 12-year-old goes into the back of the car, grabs the automatic weapon out of there, and kills the Sonic guy.
Yeah.
Kills the drive-through guy.
And then this is what you were just talking about last week.
Yeah.
No,
this
is a new one.
This just happened.
No.
Oh, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the concept of killing people that work at fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
And then they stayed at the scene and waited for the police because they were very proud of what they did, or did they run away like most people do?
Are you ready?
Okay. Matt thought I was accusing him of repeating himself.
Oh, no.
He got so defensive.
No, but here's the deal. They got away. They got in the car and left.
Yes.
Here's how they get caught. You're going to love this one. It was
they had to go back because they forgot something. They forgot something.
The 20-year-old.
We didn't get our fries, man.
Yeah,
go back.
Got back in the car and drove back there to get some food because he was hungry.
The funny thing is, I saw the guy's mugshot.
Yes,
he looks like the kind of guy that would drive back.
He had to be on drugs. He drove back there as if the place was still going to be open. Like they just moved that guy aside and then.
No, he's just
Mark. Hold on,
he's just stupid.
Here's how you know he was obviously on drugs. Number one, he went to Sonic. Okay?
You're hungry.
Not very good.
Got the munchies.
Number two, somehow you get into a fight. Why are all these people arguing? And number three, if you're working in a drive-thru and a guy says, I wanted fucking French fries, just give him some French fries. It costs you nothing.
Well,
the only thing that's going to cost you is your life if you don't. Well, give him more French fries.
Plus, too, when you commit a felony murder in broad daylight in front of multiple witnesses, your chances of getting caught are 125%.
Do you know how when the soda machine runs out of syrup and it's just all
carbonated
like soda water.
I don't.
So I was at. I don't either. But oh my god!
Wait, are you saying shoot the guy who should have refilled it?
So this is a story I'm telling. Okay, I was in a drive-through. This is a long time ago. I haven't been to Wendy's in a long time. I was in a drive-through, late night Wendy's. Car in front of me. Summertime. Windows are all down, so I could hear the driver gets their drinks first, and they're waiting on the food, and he takes a sip out of his drink, and he yells in through the window like some bad words, and he's like accusing them. He's accusing them of intentionally sabotaging the drink.
Okay.
And the person on the other side of the window says something, and he takes the drink and throws it. And then the person working there disappears, and then she comes out with a thing of hot chili and whips it at the car.
Oh, wow.
And now the guy gets out of the passenger seat, and I'm behind this.
Yeah.
Wait,
I got my food. I ordered food, and I'm watching this.
You might want to cancel that order.
It's a full-on food fight.
Well, that's okay.
She threw chili at them.
Yeah.
He threw, and now the guy gets out of the car and picks up the remaining thing of chili and whips it back at her. And I'm sitting in the drive-thru.
Didn't you just close the window so it wouldn't come inside? You could just do this like.
Yeah, no, because then she can't get the.
She's not a genius.
So then this happens like in 30, 45 seconds.
2 in the morning, obviously.
And then they just peel out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I just
okay. So fast forward. When was this? How many years ago?
Like at least 15 years ago.
Okay, 15. Now fast forward to today. It's 2 dead people.
Right. That's exactly.
Yeah.
She's probably got a gun right underneath there. He's got a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just exchanging bullets, and you're probably the one who ends up getting shot.
Well, I still wanted my food, so I pulled up to the window.
Did you get your food?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
She apologized. She's like, sorry about that. And I'm like, hey.
That's it? Wait, she's getting food thrown at her. She's throwing shit at people. She
actually explained to me what happened. She's like, there's no syrup in the thing. And he thought that we said, I go, I know. I heard the whole thing.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I got it. Is she holding a gun? Like, is she holding a gun on you?
I just want my food.
Okay, but now that just ends in a gunfight.
Yeah, nowadays,
literally ends in a gunfight.
No chili bullets.
Yeah.
The guy's not getting out of the car to throw the chili back at her. No. He's getting out to open fire.
Yeah, he's reaching in the back seat.
So,
he's pulling out a gun.
times have changed for the worse.
Yeah, way for the worse. Yeah. Man, that is so scary.
Well, the good news for the Sonic guy, he's going to get a lot of bologna sandwiches while he's in jail waiting for his trial, which obviously he'll probably be convicted of.
Why do you think they serve bologna in prison?
It's disgusting and cheap.
It's cheap, and you've lost your rights as to exist in society, so you're going to eat whatever they give you. That's why.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know what? Now thinking about all the bologna I've ever had, I just wonder how much.
I like bologna.
Cow eye, cow feet, cow tail.
I love bologna.
Yeah.
I haven't had bologna in a long time.
Yeah. Oh man, I used to.
We used to call them. Well, I could say this because I'm Polish, but we used to call them Polish steak sandwiches.
Yeah,
I'd ask my grandma, make me a Polish steak sandwich, and she would fry up bologna for us.
And there's places that make their own bologna, thick sliced, and fry it up, and
it's like grilled cheese. Some of these places have those gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh man,
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah. I did a little fasting, man. hungry myself.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
so
Are we going to Mel's?
Yeah, let's go to Mel's after
Let's
this.
do Mel's.
Okay. I'm not eating, but maybe I'll have mac and cheese or something like that. Yeah. All right, so let's put this thing to bed. Last thoughts, Mark. You're first. Bam, go for it.
All right. I just the funeral museum was very interesting.
I knew it would be.
Yeah, and I would encourage people. Can you read the website for our listeners? Do you know what it is?
I don't have it in front of me, but I know if you just type in National Funeral History Museum, yeah, you'll get it.
So go to the website. It's really cool. There's a lot of stuff up there. It's really interesting. So I would just say, I mean, my final thoughts are, it's take nothing for granted. It's great to be alive.
Yeah. Every day you're above ground, man.
Yeah.
That's so that phrase. It was just so wild. And she
I've heard that on a golf course before.
Yeah.
I think I was with you guys.
It's funny. The last golf course we were at, like every bench is like a memorial to some guy, some golfer who's been there. It's
So
like in memory of Bob. He was
really?
a great friend.
Fox Run is like that.
every golf course.
Every rock has a little placard on it where Joe was
every
here.
Golf course, every hole there. You mean
Joe was here.
Anything that you can put a rock on. Because when I worked at Glenview,
they
it
do
was
it there
funny.
too?
So yeah, they would do it. It was like $500. It was like $500 to get a plaque put on a tree.
Yeah.
Like, my father played here every
hit this
day
tree all the time.
for 80 years and whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, we'll put up a plaque.
That's kinda cool.
And then you find out it's $500.
Yeah.
that's worth it.
My dad met his mistress here on the hole number 14 and, divorced my mom.
I mean, it's a lot more than that to get your name like at the Botanic Gardens and stuff like that. People donate things there, and it's probably a lot more expensive.
Sure.
Okay, all right, I'll go along with that. All right, Teddy, last thoughts.
My last thought is I really hope Congress solves the debt ceiling crisis because apparently it's such a
solved. It's not a problem.
It's a
They just need to pay it.
So let me ask is if they don't have a good agreement on the debt ceiling, is the U.S. going to default on everything and we're going to have to just start, are they going to evict everybody from the United States?
Yes.
Okay, so because I like how they pretend like they can't, it's unsolvable, and then at the 11th hour they always figure something out.
No, we have the money to pay it. We have the money.
It's called an IOU.
No. We have the means to pay it.
We just don't want
being
to.
held hostage by one party because they don't want to pay it without getting some. That's got to be what do you call it? It's conditional. They want some conditions met before they agree to pay it.
Let's just say those conditions weren't met.
Is the
USA going to just cease to exist if the debt ceiling?
Ted,
okay, that's what I'm worried about.
See it.
Yeah.
You see,
we're out.
That's my final
We're kicked out. You and I are kicked out.
No, they could do the very simple. They could do the very simple thing that my old man told me when I got out of school, when I got out of college, and I was getting my shit together and kind of doing it. He said, number one, you can't live without good credit, and he goes, and number two, don't buy stuff you can't afford. Yep. He goes, you'll pay for it, and he goes, you can either pay for it a little, something that you kind of like, or he goes, you can pay a ridiculous amount forever for something you really, really like.
I can already tell you didn't listen to him because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 golden microphones down here, and there's only 2 idiots besides you.
Yeah,
and
but
you have
in a couple of weeks.
Yours is
my sister used one.
So stop living beyond your means is what we're saying.
Well, we only got 4
beyond your means.
We only got 4 mics with the set, and we started having extra people, so I had to buy another mic. I mean, my mic is not golden. My mic is
a black penis.
It's just
you just have one of those black total typical DJ microphones.
Oh yeah,
like in every
or like if you're America's Got Talent,
Stern.
like that's what the
let me just say it's 8:04, 4 minutes after the hour, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and rock and jam. Who likes Boston? Everybody does. It's a great place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. Yeah, we're gonna. It's more than just a feeling.
Sound effects.
Yeah. All right, so I will leave you with this idea. The funeral museum has been in the works for months. I've been going back and forth.
It's been around since '92.
No. I'm talking about getting Genevieve on.
Oh, yeah.
And I love talking with people that have a passion for something, and it so showed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In everything that she did. So again, we talked to the guy from the Prohibition Museum.
Yeah. Well, they're all in. I mean, they're all in. Whatever they're passionate.
I was in Michigan. I didn't.
Whatever their passion is, they're all in.
Yeah. But it's so much fun to talk to people that are so into what they are doing.
Yeah.
If you're driving around, and I think that it's kind of a lost art, but we got to get back to it now that we're able to get out and do things again. The best way to travel, okay? Get in your car, put people in your car, and go someplace. And when you see something that's like, oh man, that looks wild, go there and do it. Go into that place, talk to those people, Listen to what they have to say. You are going to learn so much, and you're going to meet cool people. I'll bet you dime to a dollar, because Genevieve does actual tours and everything, that she would, number one, give you a great tour and answer every question you have. And if you want to know something really cool, I guarantee you that she knows it.
Yeah.
I guarantee you she knows it. All right. So listen, everybody, have a great day. Have fun. Have a great week. Next week, we have Chris Hazard, the hiking guy. And he is going to come on, and he is going to talk all about hiking. Yeah, he's over on the West Coast, and he's super, man.
A lot of trails out there.
Dude, he seems like a really cool guy, so we're going to have a lot of fun doing that. A couple weeks later, we're going to have some people from North Shore Distillery in, and they're going to bring lots of booze. It's a husband and wife gig, like Mark was saying. And if you listen to that one, there's probably going to be a lot of slurring and things that we didn't mean to say. Yeah. And that's
I love gin, dude. This might be. I might be an Uber. Okay. I might need Ted to call me an Uber.
Ted can be your Uber.
I can be your Uber.
Yeah.
I can be your Huckleberry.
Off the books, of course.
Off the books, dude.
All right, listen. Have fun. Have a great week, and we will see everybody next time.